From Fancy to St. Vincent, spread the love, joy, and spread the holidays. Merry Christmas from all of us at WEFM to all of you.
This Christmas, Flo's making the season merrier when you add postpaid to internet. Unwrap a new Samsung smartphone for only $29. Plus, we're giving you 50% off your mobile bill. And win even more goodies with our Spin the Wheel Christmas promotion. This Christmas, the rewards are on us. Add postpaid to your internet plan today in-store or visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply. Flo, we keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And the time right now, Switch, it is 7:46, and that means it's time for us to hear commentary from Lyf Compton. Good morning, Lyf.
Good morning, Roleza. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Listeners of WEFM. Morning, Maka.
Morning.
Nicole is with us?
No, she's not here yet. She seems to be having some internet issues.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So
Life, what going on, man?
Lyf sounds like he's still sleeping.
Yeah, I'm trying to wake him up.
No. So, yeah, I just say, well, over the weekend, on Friday, we saw the first ever VAT-free holiday. From all the talk I'm hearing, seems like a lot of people enjoyed some of the benefits, while some noticed some sinister things. As I said before, I didn't really take part. I just went to a store in town and got some stuff for Christmas, basically. That's just one store. I didn't really go anywhere else. I could not go and fight up to try to get into Courts, fight up to try to get into Singer, the supermarkets. I just could not do that. That does look like one big COVID-19 influenza.
Oh, jeez. You know, it's funny that you say that, because a friend of mine was asking me, did you put on your mask? He asked me that on Friday.
The ministry actually put out advisory urging people to take precaution, right? Because they say they have a rise in the influenza cases. But I couldn't be bothered. But a lot of people were happy with it. A lot of people seem to benefit. But really, I mean, you had this conversation where I forwarded you a message where somebody was saying that they had checked the price for something the week before, and then when they went back, it was a different price. But you said that you did the same thing and you got through with your what you wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that what happened is that prices were probably strategically changed on some of the items, not all, because people were saying that a lot of people were saying that they checked certain stuff and then they went back and it was a different price. And it happened in some instances, but some people think it. But I saw somebody say, well, I didn't even plan to go in town to get anything, but when I saw the price of a TV I wanted, I just ended up and got it. Right? So if I would say it was a success from what the feedback I'm getting. Not because you might have had a few unscrupulous business people who did certain things that it was not a success. I would say that it was a success and people enjoy the savings. I saw someone say they save up to $400 and something on groceries. You know what I mean? And these things are good, right? Mm-hmm. These things are good. But the way it went down, it benefited the consumers a lot according to what people were saying, but it benefited the business people more. Mm-hmm. Because if you remember, I mentioned someone said that they went and bought a TV they didn't plan to buy. I think there were a lot of people who go to browse with the intention of not spending and end up spending. I know many of us, that happened to many of us already. So I would say that it was a success. It was a good initiative. First time ever, you would have some kinks, but I guess the next one was supposed to be around the summertime during the opening of school. That's what they had initially said that they would do. Twice a year around that time when school about to open, and then at Christmas time again. So I guess that they will work out the kinks for the next one. And let's see how it goes. Several countries implement it. Go ahead.
No, I was going to tell you Vincent should have money.
But that's what people always say. We don't know where they find the money from, but they find it.
Remember Coates was cash, eh?
You mean the ready cash? Oh, you mean going in to make purchase was a cash only that day?
Cash only that day.
Yeah. But it was because like it's always around payday also, right? Because it was strategically placed on the day after payday. So I guess like there would have been a lot of money circulating in the economy, and it's the same thing we just say colloquially that. Same thing we say colloquially that January is the hardest month.
It's not going to be hard anymore.
But Eyewitness News, Kenton Chance, he interviewed Prime Minister Dr. Godwin Friday, who said that the bonus is coming in January, right? Which is good. But it would be interesting to know when in January, because but then what is also with that now, he said that it's coming in January. The double salary is for the people the public servants who are at the lower end of the pay grade, basically. I don't know how they're gonna work that out. I don't know which part of the pay grade they're gonna start at for the double, but it will be interesting to see. He said basically that is for the people who feel any pinch, the economic pinch the most, and then the others will get a bonus. So, and he said that they would do it in 60 days, not specifically at the end of December. And I don't think people will complain about getting that money in January, because that money has been needed, right? Because like you got paid around the 18th, you still have how much? 12 days before payday, which is basically a whole half month. And then you had the VAT free, so people went in town and exhausted a lot of the funds, I would think. And yeah, it's coming in January, so we wait and see how that goes and how that's dealt with. That will be the first time that has ever been done. But what people must also realize, right, is that that's the model from St. Kitts, where at the end of every year, St. Kitts pays double, but what we have to realize too that St. Kitts has a very much smaller public service than St. Vincent, right? Very smaller. And that is something that they place in their budget. It's not something they just do haphazardly. It's something they put in their budget. So it's actually budgeted for, so they know exactly where the funds are coming from. So I don't know if it's something that the new government is going to do every year, or if they just said that during the elections. But we have to understand certain things that in St. Kitts that's in the budget, and it's a smaller public service. And I don't know how long St. Kitts will be able to keep that up for unless they keep putting it into the budget and funding it from other places, because that CBI thing that everybody was boasting and bragging about, that seems to be coming to a very abrupt end in the region. Maybe not an end, but it's going to definitely be downgraded, because this is a totally different topic. When we're talking about CBI, you see, sometimes you say things and it just keeps flows into something else, right? Because when we're talking about CBI now, we see what happened. I don't know if you all saw what happened coming to the end of last week, where Antiguans and Dominicans were mentioned in a document that was put out by the United States telling them that they have joined something like 30-something other countries that the American government has put restrictions on because of the CBI and other programs. And immediately after that, we saw what happened in Antigua, where they abruptly ended their relationship with the Cuban Medical Brigade Initiative. So basically, Antigua really expelled the Cubans basically right after that. And this is something we need to take heed of, right? Because Gaston Browne, Prime Minister Antigua and Barbuda, he has always been a very strong, vocal, outspoken, no nonsense kind of leader, right? And he had said earlier this year that if they were, because when the American government started attacking the medical brigade program, a lot of the countries came out and spoke up and said, nah, we're not doing it. We gave up with visas for that. Myanmar was very vocal about it. Former Prime Minister, opposition leader, Dr. Rav Gonsalves, was very vocal. Gaston said, well, now we are doing that. You know, all the countries that had it said, nah, we are getting rid of them. And then all of a sudden, now you hear no visas for Dominicans and Antiguans, and the medical brigade is basically gone overnight. And he had said that if that goes, then the whole entire medical system collapses. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, if we are forced to do that, it will be also very problematic for us because we have a strong presence of the Cubans here, right? And while we in this side of the region fighting up with while we in St. Vincent and the Grenadines fighting up with double pay and bonus and concern about that, the Caribbean we may know it as is basically shifting and you know, being segregated by actions from America. That's how I view it. When you look at Trinidad basically left CARICOM, and I saw a piece over the weekend where it's saying that Kamala Prasad, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, has basically abandoned CARICOM to side with the United States and everything. We see America going after the oil and the natural gases in Venezuela and basing it on cocaine. Say they're going to fight cocaine, which is something we see them do all over the world. Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, several countries in Africa. You know, we saw what happened to Gaddafi when he tried to fight them. You know, and then basically it's now shifted to the region where they're going after Venezuela and they're trying to. Well, this is my thinking, right? Is that any country that supports Venezuela, they're basically gone. Antigua, Gaston Brown had said that they will not never allow the Americans to put any kind of equipment on Antigua so about the act. We saw them act in Grenada. We never even really heard the outcome of that. Maybe they just were allowed to put the equipment on Grenada that the Americans wanted to be able to have the satellite operations properly in the region. I saw something saying that a lot of St. Lucians all the St. Lucians that went to the embassy on Friday were refused. Even students, medical visas, everything was refused. And then, well, in the case of St. Vincent, opposition leader Dr. Rav Gonsalves has always been very vocal against the Americans. Plenty things that they did they're doing in the region. He was always vocal, and well, there are a lot of people saying a lot of things about that and in relation to the last elections, right? Some of the things are unsubstantiated claims that I don't want to repeat unless I have facts, but we see them basically, it's a kind of destabilization of the region, you know, because we see Gaston making noise and saying that CARICOM didn't support him when they blacklisted him. And yeah, while we studying VAT free and bonus, these things happening all around us, you know, spurred by Trinidad, basically. Mm-hmm. So people need to okay, we don't get you the VAT free. Maybe next month when we get you the bonus, everybody might not eat. Maybe people need to start to pay attention to exactly what is happening around us, because it can be very, very, very critical for our livelihood, our tourism, or whatever. You know what I mean? Because when America comes here, they really come for you. You know what I mean? We see them also. We see Traore also. You all know Traore, the African leader. Country slipping me right now. Burkina Faso. Traore of Burkina Faso. We see him trying to take back his country's resources and nationalizing certain things, and we see a lot of bigger countries really want to go after him also. So, you know, while we have to focus internally and observe things that are going around us, we also have to focus outside, because everything that happens is like a ripple effect. Because, for instance, Russia-Ukraine, people were saying, oh, that's on a total different side of the world, that won't affect us. But we saw prices going up because of the Russia-Ukraine war, because of some of the things that Ukraine exports to the world in relation to wheat and rice and those kind of things. And we started affecting our prices here. So everything that happens outside, we can't just ignore. And Venezuela is right next door. I mean, Venezuela has done so much for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I think Venezuela has done more for St. Vincent than the United States has done for St. Vincent. So we need to focus on that. Like this is like a history lesson, right? When the Unity Labour Party came into power in 2001, right? You remember? I don't know if you all remember any days we used to see these helicopters coming here to the American Army coming here and burning out marijuana in the hills, and we used to see that regularly. And most people think that they were doing us a favor. They were not doing us a favor. That there was actually a charge attached to that. So they were actually charging for them to come into St. Vincent, go up into hills and burn down the marijuana. It was a fee attached to that. And when the Unity Labour Party came into power in 2001, the Prime Minister had showed some invoices that were sent from the American embassy in Barbados, like 70-something thousand US and thing, and he said that he would never pay them. He would never pay the bills, and the helicopters never came back. Now, that was always something strange to me, because first of all, people would think that they were coming for free. And secondly, the United States of America produces more marijuana than St. Vincent could ever produce, even back then in the mountains of California and what's not. So why not focus on burning down your marijuana or eradicating your marijuana? Why come to St. Vincent? And people would say that, oh, the reason why they did that is because back then, St. Vincent marijuana was the one that was trending worldwide. Because for a small country, we were producing so much marijuana, it was going all over the world. And in those days, you would actually see the impact that the marijuana was having on the country. Some negative, but more positive impact, because like back in those days when you drive into places like Nortley, you would see the biggest houses, you would see the best vehicles, you would see people down there that were involved in the underground illegal marijuana trade, living a kind of lifestyle I wouldn't see in other parts of the country. And then here comes the helicopters, the soldiers, and they're burning down the weed, and it was always very strange to plenty of people. You know what I mean? So when America comes to you, they really come to you. They think about everything. And a lot of the people who focus on economics worldwide would say the way they do things is just in relation to them trying to always keep their dollar stable, not by backing it with gold results, by backing it with control of the oil worldwide. You know what I mean? Because I say there's some unwritten rule or written rule, I'm not sure, that crude oil being purchased has to be purchased with the American dollar no matter where it is being bought from. So, you know, as I said, VAT pay good, bonus good, double pay good, but
we ain't get it yet now. We ain't get it double yet.
Well, I don't think you okay with your public servant.
Ask him again. Please ask him again. I've been trying to tell him this for the longest while.
I don't think maybe he has somebody that lives
a lot of people.
Right.
So you benefit indirectly? Oh, good for you.
They like how they spill off of what America is doing worldwide. It's indirectly affecting us. The positive spin off of the double stick of positively impact Maka.
But Lyf is still working with public servants, though.
Yeah. No,
okay, nice.
It's a good thing. We waiting to see, because. But then, what is interesting, right, is that the Prime Minister said these are things that we said we would do in the first 60 days. So, as I said also, I'm not sure if it's something that is going to continue down the road, or if it's just a fulfillment of the 60-day promise. And if it doesn't spill over beyond the 60 days, you can't blame them, because they never said it was something that was going to. They never gave that out in the election campaign. They just said this thing will happen with 60 days, so you can't really hold them apart. And I know.
No, and under the ULP administration, the bonus wasn't every year either.
Exactly.
For the years when I was employed, it wasn't every year either. So if you get it, you get it.
Well, as I said, this is I have only been employed with in the public service, like coming on to a year, so I don't know what used to happen, right? But what I hear some teachers complain about is that they will get an end of year bonus that was given to them, and they say this was to this money is like what they may have spent during the year on stationery and other related school things that would help them to carry out the classes properly. And I even understand that some teachers did not get it. And what I also notice is missing from my salary is my travel allowance is missing from like two months now, and I don't know what is causing that, but I guess it would be missing for some other people too. And these bonuses, well, travel allowance is very important because in my job, most of the time, 90% of the time, they give you that travel allowance because you have to use your own personal vehicle to do the work, and it's very senior vehicle because you have sometimes like we reach as far as Fancy or Sandy Bay, Georgetown, all these places doing the work, Expo into mountains or whatever, and the travel allowance doesn't always cover the price of gas because if something happens to your vehicle, it doesn't always cover the price of gas, and plus it doesn't cover the parts and the tires on the way and the vehicle. And I noticed that has been missing. And I hear a lot of teachers say that the end of year bonus, which you normally get for that station, everything is also missing for some people. Some people got it, some did not get it. I don't know how that happened. I don't know what is the problem.
You probably just need to go in and query it.
We'll see, but you can't query nothing right now, right? Because I think this is the finances shut down after the final payday, which was the 19th, and then you can't query nothing probably until after budget next year or something.
Okay.
I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works, but yeah, that is how it is. You know, we thankful for certain things, but then again, we have to also focus on the impact that this basically I want to call it an invasion of the US in the region is happening. Since when they focus on little countries like we, you know what I mean? Antigua can't do them nothing, Grenada can't do them nothing, St. Lucia, Dominica, these are small countries here. But
maybe they know exactly what they're doing because we have been, for the most part, a very unified region. Now they're coming in and they are causing the little tension and the little strife. Look at Antigua and Trinidad and Tobago now, you know? And bringing Grenada into it the other day. So, yeah. They know exactly. You know what this reminds me of? You know that influencer who, I don't know if he's an influencer. I don't even know the dude's name. Who came to Vinci commenting on the state of Kingston, and then he went to Grenada talking about Grenada and saying Grenada is much nicer. The capital is much nicer than Vinci. And now there is this quote unquote back and forth again between us and Grenadians. And I'm there saying it's one thing for us and Grenada to be doing things together, you know, when we initiated, but now you have an outsider causing the rift.
Yeah, I saw that over the weekend too. I can't remember his name. Apparently he's an English guy. And he created some serious, he got some backlash on the internet for it, but then he was kind of like trying to squad divide.
Yeah.
These High Life. These are usually, this is Nicole, these are usually strategic actions, and it's very well calculated because of the way in which that whole ability to trigger one thing that will transcend. It's never in isolation and it's never by guess. So you're definitely correct about the action.
Yeah, people talk about something more with that I think about. It's the American, it's like a kind of like colonization.
All right. We're losing you a little bit there, Lyf, but we also do have to end the segment. You kind of dropping. All right. So.
Thank you for listening, and everybody enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks.
All right. You too. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.